Hey there everybody, and welcome back to another video. I have just one question for you. Do you want these? Or how about these? Or maybe these? Well then let me show you how to get them. Before I go ahead and get started and showing you how to actually get these glyphs, they are actually called accolades for the people who don't know. And they are like badges that you get or rewards from when you complete a boss on the hard version of the boss on solo, all alone. Alright, so the first boss I want to go ahead and talk about is going to be the tank on Höllvania. And for this boss, we're going to be using the same build on all of the proto frames. So for our Mag Prime, for example, we have Worthy Camaraderie, so we can get that weak point critical hit chance. So for when we're fighting the tank, we can break the crits easier. We're going to run a heavy slam build with the Magistar, so we're going to use Naira's Anguish and Naira's Hatred. We're going to use Firewalker to give us more parkour velocity, so we can move faster, get that bullet jump going. I have Fortitude, so I can resist some knockdown and also get some shield recharge. With Rolling Guard, Vigorous Swap, Fast Deflection, Catalyzing Shields, and Vigilante Vigor. With Arcane Aegis and Arcane Nullifier. And all of this is just basically the shield gate at the boss, so we don't die. Because if we're like, our shield is gone and we don't roll in the perfect time, we're gonna die. We're gonna get murdered. But another thing you can also do is I added evade, so I can become invisible during that tank fight. Sometimes it really helps. So. And for our primary, we're going to run the Latron Incarnate with these evolutions. So for evolution 2, I'm using Swift Punishment. And evolution 3, I'm using Extended Volley. And for evolution 4, I'm using Flensing Spikes. The reason why I'm using Flensing Spikes is because we're going to use this to armor strip the tank. So it removes 20% of the enemy's armor per puncture status. So on the Latron, we're running Split Chamber, Malignant Force, Hammer Shot, High Voltage, Infected Clip, Piercing Caliber for puncture, Thermite Rounds, Rifle Aptitude, Vigilante Supplies, and Primary Dexterity. Because we're going to be getting kills with the Magistar. And for our crit killer on the tank, we're going to be using the Lex Prime. So on the Lex Prime, the evolutions I'm using is Hoplite Virtue, Extended Volley, and Critical Parallel. And the build on the Lex Prime is going to be Primed Target Cracker, Primed Pistol Gambit, Barrel Diffusion, Semi-Pistol Cannonade, Hornet Strike, Pistol Pestilence, Magnetic Might, and Primed Convulsion. And we're just running Secondary Fortifier. And with this build and the Latron, when you armor strip the tank with the Latron, this will just one-shot the crits. And for our Sancti Magistar, we are running the Slam That Tank build. Alright, we're using Shattering Storm, Dispatch Overdrive, Primed Pressure Point, Virulent Scourge, Galvanized Steel, Voltaic Strike, Organ Shatter, Galvanized Reflex, Seismic Wave, and a Magistar Riven with initial combo and critical chance. But I do have another one with critical damage and critical chance and initial combo, so I'm probably going to be using that one. But if you don't have a Riven, don't worry. You don't need to use Riven. You could actually use Corrupt Charge. You can replace the Riven for Corrupt Charge. Because you want, the whole reason is for that initial combo, so we can get the Incarnate faster. And then we're running Melee Exposure, so that every time we cast an ability, we get an extra corrosive damage on our melee strikes for 25 seconds. Okay. For our companion, we are running the Worm Prime. So the reason why we're running Worm Prime is this guy is the clutch. If you die, he is your bro. He has your back. Alright, on Worm Prime, we're running Shield Charger, Sacrifice, so that if we do die, he will revive us. Reinforced Bond, Manifold Bond, Vacuum, Guardian, Negate, so we can, he can help us, protect us from those status effects. Calculated Redirection, Restorative Bond, and Primed Regen. Okay, and on our laser rifle, I'm just running a normal build, just point strike, galvanized aptitude, magnetic capacity, laser rifle ribbon, vital sense, galvanized chamber, malignant force, and rhyme rounds. You don't need this. I just have it. It's not necessary because I mean your companion is not going to be doing the damage anyways. We're just gonna he's just there to revive us. He is the clutch. Alright, next we're gonna go ahead and want to load into Höllvania Assassination all alone. Make sure you're either on invite only or on solo. Alright, and we're heading into the mission. Once we are here, once we get to the doors that we have to break using the RPGs, there is going to be a hidden computer somewhere around that area. There's two of them. Two hidden computers that are going to be green. You want to take one of the little nodes to those computers, and that way you're going to hack the computer. You're going to place some little wormy. Something you could do to make this a little bit easier is to pick it up, insert it into the computer with your Warframe, and then go into your operator or your drifter, and then go in void mode, and then hack it that way, because all the enemies are going to be swarming you, and they're going to be like murdering you while you're hacking the computer. But once you're done hacking both of the computers, when you make it to the boss, it will transform into the harder version of the boss. So once we're here, before we go into the boss fight, you can throw down any specters that you have. Like if you have any Dante specters in specific too, that will be really helpful. So you want to, before you walk into the boss phase, go ahead and throw all your specters that you want, and then go ahead and hit on in. And when we're doing the fight itself, we're going to want to go ahead and take out our Latron immediately, armor strip him as fast as we can, switch to our legs, break all of the crit spots, and then we're going to go ahead and wait for the RPG units to drop. We're going to kill that guy, take his RPG, blow up the tank, and then we're going to rinse and repeat. But this time, now that we have the RPG, we're going to go ahead and take it to a safe spot around the map, like in the corner. You're going to drop it there, and you're going to waypoint it so you can remember where it is. And then we're just going to do that again. We're going to break the crit spots, and then we're going to go back and pick up that RPG that we left in the corner, and then just shoot it at the boss. And then that way, go ahead and I'll run up to it, press X, and then we'll go ahead and move on to stage 2. When we're on stage 2, same thing. When the spider tank comes out, you're going to armor strip him with the Latron, and then that's when you're just going to go to town with the hammer. You're just going to go jump up, slam, backflip, slam, backflip, slam, backflip, slam, backflip. Alright, moving on to the 60 Eyes boss in the Sanctum. So we're going to start off with Protea. For the build, we're running the exact same build that we used for the tank. So Worthy Camaraderie, Naira's Anguish, Firewalker, Catalyzing Shields, Fortitude, Naira's Hatred, Vigorous Swap, Fast Deflection, Rolling Guard, Vigilante Vigor, Arcane Aegis, and Arcane Nullifier. But this time we're going to run different weapons, 2 different weapons. We're going to run the Torrid. We're going to have Galvanized Chamber, Speed Trigger, Malignant Force, Hammer Shot, Vital Sense, Serration, Galvanized Aptitude, Infected Clip, Vigilante Supplies, and Primary Blight. Now, you don't really need the Torrid because we're not really going to use it that much. I mean, it's useful, but I'm mainly going to be using the Sanctum Magister to kill the enemies while we're at the Vitriums. Alright, for our secondary, I am using the Grimoire. I changed the name to Harry Potter, you know. We are running Pistol Pestilence, Galvanized Diffusion, the Foss Canticle, so we can get an extra shield recharge, Frostbite, Gunslinger, Hornet Strike, Prime Target Cracker, Galvanized Shot, and Secondary Innervate. And of course for the Sanctum Magister, we're running the same build, except we just switched Corrosive to Radiation. And again, we're running the same companion, and we're using Worm Prime again. Same build. Shield Charger, Sacrifice, Reinforced Bond, Manifold Bond, Vacuum, Guardian, Negate, Calculated Redirection, Restorative Bond, and Primed Regen. And alright, now let's head on into the Sanctum, everybody. Alright, so to activate the boss in the Sanctum is while we're in the mission, we're gonna have to collect the 30 eyes to spawn in the normal boss. But when we collect the 30 eyes, we're not gonna we're not gonna go to the boss and summon him. We're gonna continue to grab the little objects and putting them into the vitriums, going to the yellow markers, and we're gonna go until we collect 60 eyes. Once we have 60 Murmur eyes, then we're gonna go back and activate the boss, which is gonna transform him into the hard mode. And for the same thing that we did for the tank, we're gonna do here. So we're just gonna go ahead and slam, jump, slam, backflip, jump, slam, backflip, jump, slam, backflip, over and over again until this boy is dead. And again, before the boss starts, we want to drop all of our specters so that they can take aggro for us to help us survive. I found no difficulties with the Sanctum boss. Out of all 3 of the bosses, I believe that the Sanctum boss is the easiest one to complete. However, you still always want to be on the move. Make sure you're never standing still. You gotta be on the move at all times. Alright, and I'll show you gameplay with all the Warframes for this one because I was able to record all of these. No problem, bro. Light work, light work. Light work, light work. Light work, baby. Damn, there you go. Easy.
The harder won the victory, the greater the spoils. Return to the Sanctum.
Easy peasy, baby.
Your bounty.
Easy peasy, baby. I can fly. Whee! I'm flying with a baby in my tummy. Oh yeah, baby. All right, everybody. Now moving on to Janus Captain Vor. So for Captain Vor, I did switch up the Warframe build because the old one that we used for the tank and the 60 ice boss did not work for War. It did not work for War. Okay, so we're using Worthy Camaraderie still, Prime Sure-Footed, Adaptation, Vigilante Vigor, Primed Flow, Primed Continuity, Rolling Guard, Equilibrium, Fast Deflection, and Primed Redirection. We're using Arcane Nullifier and Arcane Aegis. Okay. I decided to use the Cedo Prime. I used it to prime the Eximus that are inside of that mission at the boss, and also to prime Vor when I did get the chance. So we are just running Toxic Barrage, Hell's Chamber, Frigid Blast, Shell Shock, Scattering Inferno, Shotgun Savvy, Vigilante Armaments, Magnetic Strafe, Primary Debilitate, and Vigilante Supply. For my secondary, I am running the Leto Vandal with the evolutions, Haven Foray, Exact Penance, and Death Trap Trigger. Now, I did use the Leto Vandal for most of my runs. However, I did use the dual Toxicists as well for some of the harder runs. So on the Leto Vandal, I am running Primed Pistol Gambit, Primed Target Cracker, Pathogen Rounds, Semi-Pistol Cannonade, Primed Convulsion, Galvanized Diffusion, Primed Expel Grenier, and a Leto Ribbon for multi-shot and crit damage, but we can replace this. Pistol Ammo Mutation, and Secondary Innervate. Alright, so we can replace the Leto Ribbon for Merciless Gunfight for more crit damage. So if you have Merciless Gunfight, you can just add this. Okay, now moving on to the dual Toxicist. Okay, we are running Galvanized Diffusion, Prime Target Cracker, Jolt, Lethal Torrent, Galvanized Shot, Merciless Gunfight, Pistol Pestilence, Primed Expel Grenier, and Primed Ammo Mutation with Secondary Innervate. And with the evolutions, we are using Carnage Rain, Evolved Autoloader, and Narrow Toxin. And for our melee, we are running the Zorus. We are running Astral Twilight, Opportunity's Reach, Primed Smite Grenier, Amalgam Organ Shatter, Shocking Touch, Volatile Quick Return, Killing Blow, Galvanized Steel, Galvanized Reflex, Galvanized Elementalist, and Melee Influence. We're using this to also help us apply some slash procs on Mr. Vor. Okay, so for the Warframe build, this build works on all of the Warframes for the accolades, except one. There's just one small little difference here, and that is on our boy Atlas. We don't need Primed Sure-Footed. Wow. And then that's it. And going back to Korra, because Korra was the hardest one for me. This one, I almost died. I clutched. My Worm Prime clutched for me for Korra. Out of all of the Warframes, Korra was the hardest. Okay. So for the Venari Prime, I'm running Territorial Aggression, Momentous Bond, Loyal Companion, Primed Animal Instinct, Sharpened Claws, Fetch, Contagious Bond, Tenacious Bond, Primed Pack Leader, and Tech Assault. For the claws, I am running Bite, Maul, Coal of the Weak, Venom Teeth, Immunity Resistance, Hunter Synergy, Sepsis Claws, and Precision Conditioning. For the Whip Claw, I didn't really change this much. I'm just using Prime Pressure Point, Condition Overload, Galvanized Steel, Primed Reach, Smite Grenier, Vicious Frost, Virulent Scourge, and Galvanized Elementalist, and Melee Kareen. I didn't really use this too much in the mission though, but yeah. For our companion, we're still sticking with the worm. The goat. Okay, so to activate Janus Captain Vor, there are these symbols around the map that you have to look for, but they're only visible when you are in your drifter. But you don't need to always look for them because it's just going to be the same code. So I'm just going to give you the code. Here it is. So every time you go into this mission, before you go into the boss fight, there's a little panel here that you're going to hack it. And then you're going to input this code. And bada bing, bada boom. Janus Vor has been activated. So right off the bat in the boss fight, what I started to do is I went ahead and hit Mr. Vor with the Cedo, and then I just went off with him with my Lado, and I went towards the back of the map to try to hit him from far away because he will spam you with so much abilities and he will nullify you constantly. So you have to make sure you're always watching your shield. As soon as your shield drops and that invulnerability is gone, you roll right away. So, and then this was with the Lado, I was able to do it pretty quick. However, with the dual Toxicist, it was easier to do damage to Vor. Like, I did more damage to Vor than I did with the Lado. But that was because I was just focused so much on moving around with Gora that it was difficult for me to like really stand still and hit him. When you make it past his first phase, you will have to do the little jumping puzzle or the little lasers. Nothing will save you from these lasers. If you touch the lasers, you have to restart at the beginning of the hallway. So just be careful, like especially when you're doing this with like the more beefier frames like Hildren and Atlas. Like it was so hard to like see because my cosmetics. So I probably need to change my FOV. But once you make it to the second phase, this is a little bit harder because it's more open. So this is where you're gonna keep wanting to move around, and when you can, you want to get close to Vor and try to just go ham at him with your secondary. But again, make sure you're always watching your shield because as soon as it drops, you want to roll out of the way. Another thing that I forgot to actually do on my Korra run was, again, before you enter the boss fight, drop all of your specters and then go inside, because the specters are just such a game changer. The amount of aggro that they take is fantastic. And there's one specific Eximus, I forgot the name, it's the one that knocks you down, but if you have those specters, they will actually like keep knocking Vor down off the platforms, and there's a possibility where he may be glitched in the platform and he just stands still a couple times. I had that happen a couple times in a couple runs. And alright, with all of that said, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the gameplay from 5 of the Warframes because I forgot to record Hildren. Because Hildren was just so easy, I got lost in the sauce. Hildren is the easiest one out of all of them. No. No! No! Oh my goodness, I got so lucky. Oh my goodness. And that's the end of the video, Tenno. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And happy hunting.